Just a couple of kilometers from the Gaza Strip, we're once again at another Israeli kibbutz. This one is called Nir Oz. But this is actually unlike any other kibbutz, and I'm going to show you a little bit about the damage that happened here, because we've been told it is particularly bad. And I've visited 4 of the 20-odd kibbutzes that were attacked by the Hamas on October the 7th, and I can tell you already, first impressions, this is particularly bad. You can see, the spray paint by the terrorists that they put on each door as they walked in. This is one of the houses of a tiny little kibbutz where 400 people lived. And the reason why it was particularly badly damaged is because about 100 of the people who lived in this little kibbutz were either murdered by the Hamas or were taken hostage. We're told by the IDF here that about a third of all hostages currently in Hamas captivity are from this kibbutz alone. That's about 70 to 80 of the total number of hostages are just from Nir Oz, this particular kibbutz where I'm standing right now. It's just ash and dust. There's nothing else here. Everything's been reduced completely to rubble and fire debris. These are the remnants of not just firearms, but a place that's been completely torched. Now, the Nir Oz kibbutz had about 400 people, very small, just a few houses, 400 people in all. Most of the people working and living in this kibbutz were farmers, agrarian, entrepreneurs. Many of them, were told, grew avocados. Some of them worked in the nearby sealants and paint factory, not very far from here. But a peaceful commune right in the middle of the Negev desert. The Negev desert completely surrounds this particular kibbutz. But the kibbutz itself was considered a bit of an oasis. It's beautifully green. It has this wonderful botanical garden right in the middle of it. You can hear the sound of parakeets up in that tree, parrots of some kind up in that tree, and yet in the distance you can hear the thud of artillery. Each and every house completely destroyed. So this is the kibbutz. Just look at the contrast in pictures, viewer, because I want to be able to adequately convey the contrast. Here you've got this beautiful botanical garden here, and on the other hand, the terrorists using spray paint to mark each house as they went in and out. Each house just a pile of debris, either completely burnt or destroyed and vandalized by the terrorists as they invaded. Nobody lives here anymore. Like every kibbutz that we've been looking at, this is a complete ghost town as well. The only occupants here are those who protect it, people from the IDF. The rest of it is just completely destroyed. Here you have the remnants of a car, bullet-riddled car, that's been reduced to dust and ash. Nothing left of it. There you've got in the distance another house that's been completely damaged and destroyed. There's just ash everywhere. We were told by the IDF that this particular kibbutz is particularly unsettling because there's just fields of ash everywhere, where homes once stood, and that's very, very true. That's exactly how it is. Field of cactuses here. We're told that the 400 people who lived in this kibbutz were all plant fiends. They loved plants. That's why you've more artillery landing not very far from here. Lots of beautiful plants, lots of beautiful flowers. There's apparently a flower patch where there are about 86 species of flowers not found in Israel, found only in this particular kibbutz. So it was something that was the pride of the people who lived here. And just to show you a little bit more about the kinds of damage that we're seeing here. Look at this. I mean, this doesn't even really need a description. They came in, they just went on a complete rampage. They just destroyed everything in their path. Everything in their path. and they just walked through. Uh, 80 people taken hostages. 80 people taken hostage. A large number, murdered. We're not being permitted into some of the houses because we're told that the survivors have objected because there were pictures of blood, pictures of cribs, images of all sorts of personal items stained with blood that was splashed all across the media and the internet, and that was just a terrible, terrible thing for these survivors to actually have to live through all over again. Just look at this. This is all that's left here. Just look at these images. Let me just get you a little closer so you can see. We're going to be reporting very, very sensitively because these are, after all, people's homes, and hopefully at some point of time they will return. So I'm going to just show you these things with a little bit of care. Fire was the main weapon that was used here. We've seen some bullet holes in some of the walls, but it is very clear that in this particular kibbutz, arson was the main weapon wielded by the Hamas terrorists. They came in with lighters, lighter fuel, and they just set everything ablaze, which is why nearly all, 99% of the damage here you see is all fire damage. When they said fields of ash, this is what they meant. This is what they meant. This is the inside of somebody's house. Once again, you can't even make out what everything is right now because all of it is just simply fire dust and ash and walls with soot. There will be a program perhaps at some point to get all of this repaired so the people can return, but I'm just wondering in my head as a journalist, as a civilian, how will anybody ever come back here? I'm just trying to think about that for a moment. How will anybody ever feel safe to come back to a location of this kind where everything is just completely broken? This is somebody's house. And you can see the markings on the wall there. How can anyone feel even remotely safe coming back to a place like this, even if it's completely repaired? Is a question I want to ask all of you viewers. If this happened to your house, would you be okay coming back to this place? Look at everything here. Personal artifacts, personal effects, things you've connected over a life, wall hangings, chairs, furniture, people's personal items that perhaps nobody should have to see, children's toys, and a life built with a great deal of care. And remember, these people live just 5 minutes from the Gaza Strip. It's a 5-minute drive to the Gaza Strip from here. And this is how it turns out.